Alright, hey, this is Mick here, and so I'm doing a video review on the Lite Speed Bikes 72 volt battery for the Sauron Lite V, okay? So this is the 18650 battery with the Sony VTC cells in it, okay? That's what it says right here. So I'll read the exact specs of the battery right here. So this is the battery that we're doing the review on. I got the Sauron battery there just for show, but we're going to talk about this guy here, okay? So it has it's a 72 volt, 30 amp hours, okay? And it's a 20 series 10 parallel Sony VTC6 cells, and they use 18650 cells, okay? That's a type of, it's a cylindrical kind of lithium ion cell, okay? It's a 15 amp constant charge BMS, and it has a 2,160 watt hours, okay? 2.1 kilowatt hours, basically. It's pretty good. Alright, so I have to say, I'll tell you this now, the stock Sauron battery is the biggest bottleneck in the bike, okay? Time and time again, Hayes Mega has overheated it, riding it on the kart track for Supermoto, this kind of stuff. And yeah, it'll overheat pretty easily on the racetrack, especially when you're using regen a whole lot, and just in dirt biking, and the range isn't as good as this guy, okay? So, but yeah, so we're gonna do the review on this. All right, so it weighs about the same. I'll tell you now, this battery here, it blows the Sauron battery away in performance, okay? So long as you got a controller that can harness that extra power, okay? You got 72 volts, that's 12 extra volts to use. That's more power, it may have less amp hours, okay? The stock battery is a 60 volts but 32 amp hours, okay? But this one is 72 volts, 30 amp hours, so it has 2 less amp hours. However, it still has more power, okay? So the way that equation works is you got in the end the Lite Speed Bikes battery has more power, okay? You've got 72 volts times however many watts. Yeah. So anyway, it's got more voltage, so it's got like 12 extra volts, so that means it probably has about the equivalent of 32 amp hours, okay? Supposedly that one should last longer but not provide as much power. This one lasts much longer, okay? It might be because maybe it's a fresher battery, okay? So Hayes Mega bought this battery. I ordered this battery in February, okay? And I got it in March, okay? I think it took a little over a month for me to get it, okay? And I've had it for about 8 months now, and I'm telling you, I've put it through the ringer. I have punched it as much as I could, okay? And I do not want to go back to the 60 volt battery, so and that's exactly why it's sitting on this box right here. So what's inside this box is my new battery, okay? I got a new Lite Speed battery. I'll be shooting a video, an unboxing video, and like information video about it. So check that one out, but that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to do the review on this guy, okay? So I'm just gonna talk about it and tell you what I think about it, and then that'll pretty much be the end of the video, okay? But performance-wise, it blows the stock Sauron battery out of the water, okay? These Sony cells are incredible, okay? They can take a beating and just keep on going. I think I've gotten the cells as high as like a 140 Fahrenheit before, okay? It can take a lot of punishment, okay? Especially when you're doing Supermoto stuff, okay? And I've charged it and and rode it, charged it and rode it, you know, on the track. I use it for DoorDash. I've used it for dirt biking. I used it in a recent hare scramble. Okay, I've noticed that you'll get for the Sauron, you'll get a little more than an hour of runtime out of the battery. Okay, that's if you're riding it pretty rough. Okay, I'm riding it pretty hard. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I could ride it harder. I can always ride it harder, but yeah. I've noticed. Well, when I went to Metcalf Motorcycle Park 2 weeks ago, we were able to do about an hour and 20 minutes, and we still have about maybe like 10% battery left. Okay, so it's safe to say, like Hades Omega will say, you'll get an hour of runtime riding it off road. Okay, hard. Okay, hard. And then so I've actually range tested this thing on the street too. Hades Omega uses this battery for DoorDash, or I use the Sauron for DoorDash with this battery, and my record on it is 49 miles. I rode 49 miles with this battery pack. Okay, generally with the Sauron battery pack, I'll say somewhere between 30 and 40 miles. You know, 40, you'll be really lucky if you get 40. You know, and then it's dead. Okay. This was a 49 miles, and probably still had, you know, maybe like 10% left. Okay, we were getting really close to dead, but I pushed it to 49 miles. You know, and it did it happily. Okay, but now that was we're at like bike lane speeds. Okay, that's about like 20-30 miles an hour, somewhere around those speeds. Okay, so I wasn't pushing it hard, but if you're not pushing it hard, you can push it 49 miles. Okay. And I've raced it in supermoto races and stuff, in like 80-90 degree weather, and it holds up just fine, really good. Okay, it would be good to have two batteries, that way you get to give one a break. You know, it has also it has a BMS app on it. Okay, the BMS app is it's okay. I don't really use it all that much. The most handy thing I use it for is to check the temperature. Okay, that's pretty much it. And you cannot change. It's not the best app in the world. It doesn't display stuff in Fahrenheit. Everything is in some, you know, Asian digits. Okay, whatchamacallit, the percent gauge on it, the state of charge, it doesn't work anymore on the app. I don't know what happened. You know, maybe I should uninstall it and reinstall it, but it never works anymore. It always says 100%, and I know that's not true. Okay, but you can always go through the. There's a way you can check each cell or module in the pack. Okay, and it'll tell you the voltage of each module. Okay. Yeah, so you can check it that way, or it'll display a voltage too, so you can go by the voltage also. Okay, so the app is, it's okay. Like I said, I don't really use it all that much. Sometimes it does store error codes and stuff, so it'll, you know, you'll see stuff pop up in there maybe, but I haven't really had any problems with it. Yeah, so yeah, so that's it for the app. You know, the status charge doesn't work on it anymore. I don't know why, but it does tell you the temperature of the battery pack. Okay, I've gotten it pretty hot before. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the exterior. One thing I don't like about it is it moves the charge port to the other side of the battery. Okay, that's one thing I don't like. So here's your charge port. The charge port is an XT60 connector coming out of the back right of the pack. Okay, so on the Sauron battery, it's on the back, in the front left of it. Okay, so it would have been nice to just have them both in the same place. So if I swap the batteries, I don't have to park the bike a different way. You know, so that's one annoying thing I don't like about this. I wish this was over here. Okay, on the other side. And yeah, so but this, it keeps it tucked up in there. Okay, I guess. I made this little cover for it. This is actually the little booty that came with it, and I made a lanyard out of it to keep this on here. It opens, it comes out a lot, so I don't know, but it helps keep the dust out of it and stuff. Okay, So this one has a 200 amp breaker on top. I kind of don't like it. I had to modify the battery when I first got it. I had to move this breaker so it would fit underneath the battery cover already. So already it didn't fit very good. So the fitment. Yeah, we'll talk about the fitment in a minute too. But yeah, so nice thing about having the breaker here is you kind of, you have like a kill switch, you can hit that, and if you're going to park your bike somewhere, you can hit that, and then it kills the battery. It kills the battery right away. Okay, you don't have to flip the breaker on the bike. Okay, and there were some exposed terminals and stuff, so I covered it with like tape and a piece of tube. Okay, and then there's a vacuum cap on the other one, just so there's no exposed, positive terminal to ground it on anything. But I haven't had any problems, shorting it out on anything. Okay, it comes with the strap here that's glued around the center. I haven't really had a problem with it. It looks like it's starting to come off a little bit, but it's okay. And whenever I put it in the bike, I fold it to the back like that. Okay. These cables kind of tend to get in the way too. I don't know. It doesn't fit inside the battery cover all that well. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. But it does weigh about the same size as the Sauron battery. I would say the battery pack is a little chunkier than the Sauron battery because the Sauron battery fits a lot better. The Sauron battery will slip right into there. This one you have to kind of finagle it. So here, I will give you a demonstration. Okay, Hades Omega is going to try to demonstrate how this battery doesn't fit very well. Okay. So I already got the cover open. Okay, so you just got to make sure this is out of the way and the little data cable's out of the way. Just try to slip it in there, and it doesn't want to. Okay, so that actually worked out pretty well. It always gets caught on something over here on the front, so I have to always kind of pick it up and then drop it in. Okay, so it's not too bad. But Hades Omega struggles putting the battery in sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and then just hooking it up is a little strange. Yeah, you got all these long cables in here and stuff, so it's kind of annoying. And you have to make sure you don't pinch them or anything. Okay, but I need to re-glue this breaker here because it came off. I put a bunch of what's that word? Tape on it. Silicone adhesive on it, and it came off. It came off after a while, so I'm gonna actually use hot glue to put it on. That's originally what was holding it in place. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to demonstrate removing the battery. So removing the battery is kind of hard too. You have to make sure all these wires and stuff aren't in the way. Pull this up here. Okay, but the battery door does fit pretty nicely. Okay. Okay, so another thing I don't like about this battery is there's no state of charge gauge on it. Okay, the stock Sauron battery has a state of charge gauge on it. Okay. Sorry, it's still zoomed in, but yeah, this battery has no way to tell the state of charge, other than if you look at it on the app or if it's hooked up to the bike. Okay, so one thing I did to the bike is I added a state of charge gauge on it, or it's pretty much a voltmeter. Okay, is what it is, and now Hades Omega is planning to just go 72 volts. I'm not going to do the 60 volts anymore because I don't like the way it plays with the NXT display. Like when you hit 60 volts, you have to reprogram everything, and then the battery isn't happy, and you have to like tune it and stuff. Yeah, so I'm just going to stick to 72 volts. That way, keep it simple. I don't want to play with these battery profiles anymore. Okay. Okay, so this battery was about a little more than $1,700, and it came with the charger. Okay. I just bought a new battery, and that one was $1,800, and it didn't come with the charger, so it's a pretty expensive battery. Okay, but the new battery I got uses 21,700 cells, while this one uses 18,650. So it's a bigger battery. It holds more energy. It's more energy density. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I've had very good luck with this battery. It's really good. I like it a lot better than the stock Sauron battery. You got more range and more power. You know, that's all there is to it, man. It's basically, you know, the bottleneck in the Sauron is the battery, okay? But you need a more powerful controller to take advantage of this, okay? So that's why you gotta have the VAC controller, okay? Yeah, so yeah, I would much rather just stick with 72 volts. After I tried it, it's like, oh yeah, I can't go back. I don't really want to go back to the 60 volt battery. It's just no good, you know. Now, if you did the BMS bypass on the 60 volt battery, yeah, you know, but you'll be able to get more power out of it, but you know, it won't be as reliable, you know. This has been pretty rock solid, reliable. The last race I ran it dead, okay. It was an hour and 30-minute hair scramble, and I think I pushed the battery to like an hour and 10 minutes, and then it died. Okay, and then I had to swap the 60 volt battery into it. So a little more than 1 hour plus is what you're gonna get riding it off road, depending on, you know, the conditions and how hard you're riding it, you know. But generally, you'll get more than an hour of runtime on the Sauron. Okay. Yeah, and then I raced it in. I just raced it in the Hollister Hills Hairball, and that was a 1 hour hair scramble, and there were like lots of steep hills and stuff we had to go up and down, and it was able to run for an hour and 5 minutes. So that was my time for the course, an hour and 5 minutes, and we did about 20 miles on that race, okay? So 20 miles, an hour, and we still had 25% of the battery left after, okay? I'll tell you that now, So we probably could have we probably could have pushed it to maybe an hour and 10 minutes. I wouldn't push it more than an hour and 10 minutes, okay? So definitely after I just finished the 4th lap on that race, I would have swapped the battery by then. After the 4th lap, I should have swapped the battery. Like in the hair scramble last week, I should have swapped it after the 4th lap, okay? So because it died on me on the 5th lap. So for a hair scramble, I don't know, it depends on, you know, where it is and how long it is and what kind of terrain, but it looks like 4 laps is about as much as it's going to get me during a hair scramble, okay? And then you'll still have a little bit left in the tank, but you definitely don't want it to run out on the course, because that's what happened to me. It ran out just before the finish line, and I had to push it all the way to the finish line about 1/8 of the mile, and it sucked, okay? And then I had to go grab the other battery, so yeah, so it would be nice to have a little bit more extra power for races, and that's why I bought this battery, the 21700 battery. So this is going to be like my main battery, and then this will be like kind of the spare battery now, okay? But they're still freaking awesome, okay? So if you guys want to learn more about that 21700 battery pack, check that video out. I'll put a link in the end of the description. But this is the end of the review for the 72 volt Sony VTC6 battery pack from Lite Speed Bikes, okay? Hazemega gives his 2 thumbs up of approval for it. Okay, I am very happy with this battery. It was expensive, okay, $1,600, but it's totally worth it. Especially if I'll get my money back when I sell my old battery. Okay, I do like the old battery that it goes in better and has a battery gauge on it. Okay, and another thing I didn't like was where the charge port is. They moved it to the other side. It's kind of annoying, you know. So whenever I have a different battery and I got to park my bike a different way in the garage. Okay, but other than that, you know, it's been really good to me. Okay, I still have to glue this breaker back on, but you know, it's not a big deal. Okay, but we're gonna have to do some modifications to it when we install the other pack, because we gotta modify the door a little bit. So, but anyway, that's a different video. Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. Lite Speed Bikes did a good job building this pack. I haven't had any major problems with it at all. Like the voltage cutoff is about 60 volts on this bike, also, by the way. So before it was like 65, and I wasn't getting really good range out of it. But you can push this. You can push this battery to 50 volts, okay? So it says on the sticker here, don't discharge it below 50 volts. So, but if you discharge it to 60 volts, that gives you some room for error, you know. If you wanted to push it a little bit more, you know, you could, okay, to 50 volts. But it's best not to. So So I think it works best with the low voltage cutoff of 60 volts. Okay, and like yeah, you can always push it harder, but you're gonna lower its battery life. Okay. Also, I charge it to most of the time I charge it 100%. Okay. And I usually charge it at a lower current, like 3 amps or 5 amps. Okay. The only time I really use the 12 amps on the Lite Speed Bikes charger is when I'm at the racetrack. If I need to charge it really fast, and that heats the battery up and everything. I haven't had any problems with the regen also. Okay. I use the regen a whole lot, and it never overheats the battery. I mean, it does heat up the battery, but it's never like overheated it. So, to the point where like it's just gonna shut down. Okay, where the BMS just says, "Hey, I don't like it. No more for you." but yeah, the regen works great. Okay, with this battery, it can definitely take a beating, discharging and charging it. Okay, so yeah, really happy with it. Oh yeah. Also, we ran 17-second quarter miles. My best quarter mile was 17.645 with this guy. Okay, maybe we can do better with the other one. Also, with this battery pack, we were also able to hit 79 miles an hour on this Sauron. Okay, so yeah, it is the real deal. Okay, but you probably can't sustain that speed for very long. I'll tell you that now. Okay, so yeah, I've hit a lot of I've broken or just made a lot of records with this battery. It's just freaking amazing. Okay, 72 volts is awesome. Okay, the Sauron should have just made a 72 volt battery for the Lite B in the first place. Okay, all right, here's me go.